pray. Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. Our Almighty Father in heaven, we praise you and we glorify your name. Thank you for all the blessings you have showered upon us. Thank you for the gift of life, and may you forgive us from all the sins that we have committed, and may you protect and guide us for the activity that we are going to do today. This we ask for Jesus Christ, our Lord and Savior. Amen.
Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. Doctor in class.
Good afternoon, Teacher Jada and visitors.
Please sit down.
So, for the application of the day, everything happens for a reason. So, as we all know that this quote is very common, but everything happens for a reason. It may be in a good or bad situation, but as we all know that it has a purpose, and many plans don't go according to plan, but it will happen in God's perfect time. So,
Okay. So that is really true, no? Everything happens for a reason. We may feel negative right now, especially that your science congress is coming. I know that we're very pressurized. Still going to the area of your study, still looking for the gadgets, still looking for the respondents, but don't worry, because later on, eventually, March 1 and 2 is the science Oh my God, ginagawa yung fly. So God bless, and know that everything happens for a reason. Okay, so for the past few days, we've been discussing about environmental issues. So many of you were able to actually present creatively, no? During the final demonstration of my student teachers. We're able to present creatively the overpopulation, pollution, also the climate change, and industrialization. What are the effects? These are environmental issues right now. What are the causes and effects of these issues? But now, we will focus more on climate change. Okay, so before we will start our debate for today, we will have first, I'll show you a video. This is entitled Climate Change.
As a result of the Industrial Revolution that kicked off in the mid-1700s, the Earth's surface is warming up at a never-seen-before rate. A major reason for the rise in temperatures is the increase in the concentration of greenhouse gases in the Earth's atmosphere. These cause our planet to retain heat from the sun. Greenhouse gases such as carbon dioxide and methane are released into the atmosphere when fossil fuels are burned. Trees and oceans absorb carbon dioxide, but can't handle the large amounts that are now building up in the Earth's atmosphere. And because our forests are shrinking, even less carbon dioxide is absorbed. The high levels of carbon dioxide are already acidifying oceans, killing off coral reefs. It's also triggering a dangerous rise in sea levels and an increase in extreme weather events. Around the world
is the overpopulation, which is technically caused by human beings. So overpopulation needs space, and so they result to deforestation, to industrial revolution, and these factories emit smokes that contribute to the concentration of greenhouse gases, and therefore human activities are the cause of climate change.
Over the 21st century, the scientists have said that these are not yet proven, and that these human-generated gas emissions are not that enough to substantially change the climate of our planet, and that our planet itself can still absorb these gas emissions.
We're now through with our first speaker. Now, let's move to another question, another topic, which is climate change unstoppable? to give his constructive remarks, let's call upon the first negative speaker, Mr. Johnny Veloso.
Judges, good afternoon. So, climate change is typically unstoppable. Because nowadays in our generation, today, in this generation, we cannot deny the fact that we humans have a lot of wants and needs in our lives. That's why this climate change is really unstoppable. It starts with us humans. If we don't think of one thing that makes this stop, how can humans make a good resolution out of it? If we humans have a lot of innovations, especially those ones, the phones, the gadgets, the things that makes us satisfied, and those things are the things that keeps us on making, innovating. And one of the reasons that climate change is really unstoppable. As said in the research, that this climate change is really unstoppable, and there are a lot of ideas from the scientists that they talk that there is nothing to worry about because our environment can really absorb it. But we cannot just stand there. We cannot deny any facts or any solution that, yeah, it's not going to happen. But definitely humans must stand and do something about it because it's really unstoppable.
Thank you. I call upon our second affirmative or on speaker, Speaker Mr. Gabia, for your rebuttal speech.
What we have done can never be undone. Humans started these kind of effects in our own society. Some say that cutting trees is easier than planting them. It takes hours to plant them and years to grow. And when people cut the trees, it only takes a minute to cut them through. According to a famous writer and the experts, climate change is already unstoppable. It has only 1.5% that we can stop climate change. We cannot replace the ozone layer above. Because above right now in the atmosphere is the carbon dioxide, the greenhouse effect.
Okay, I would like to point out to you that I did not give any further explanations about it, but then what you're trying to say is that, yeah, humans are one of the reasons why this climate change is happening. But it's unstoppable. It's a natural phenomenon which is about 10,000 years and still happening in this present. So how can we humans do something about it if we in ourselves is not disciplined? If we think that we are more greater than this nature?
Climate change is a fact. that can never be stopped. It can be deducted or reduced, but we cannot annihilate it. There are things, first, that we need to understand, especially in our technologies, which is one of the factors that creates climate change itself.
Okay, so for that statement, I would like to say that technologies can be one of the direct reasons that why this climate change is happening. But with the use of innovations, technologies, it can also be one of the things that we can say climate, that we can change the climate. But then it's in the fact that humans can no longer be stopped from their wants and needs. So that's why climate change is still happening.
Okay, so thank you for our second speakers. Now, let's move on to our third speakers with the question, with the topic effects of climate change. So let's call upon our third speaker for the negative or con side, Ms. Alizea Amangpa for her speech.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Let me start off by saying that our environment is constantly changing. These changes brought both positive and negative effects. For example, climate change. As we all commonly know, climate change is the abnormal change or shift in the climate in an area due to the rising of the global temperature. Now, if you believe it or not, climate change has positive effects. But I am taking my stand right now that even if climate change, that you might be hearing later that there are a number of pros by climate change, I am taking my stand and saying that there are a much number of cons in climate change. Well, I'm just talking about rising of sea levels, droughts, weather erratic changes, and conflicts. Let us first talk about sea level rising. The excessive use of fossil fuels have risen the carbon dioxide and methane amount in our atmosphere by 300 parts per million according to prosandcons.org. These carbon dioxide and methane trap the heat from escaping from our Earth, causing the rise of global temperature. The rise of global temperature then leads to the melting of the ice caps in the Arctic, causing the rising of sea levels. The rising of sea levels will now then have the effect of the huge floods. For example, the Yolanda and of course the horrifying floods in Bangladesh that literally swept the houses of Bangladeshis in their feet. Second, let's talk about droughts. Droughts, due to the rising of the global temperature, we have a lack of rain. The lack of rain causes the soil in the crops to dry up and the production of crops will now be decreased. As you remember, last 2016, the United Nations Weather Agency confirmed or concluded that the 2016 El Nino was the worst El Nino ever computed. So the droughts will cause decreasing level of production, the production of crops that will lead to food insecurity. Let us now talk about erratic weather changes. Last 2017, we have 41 depressions recorded in the Pacific. 11 of them are typhoons and 2 were super typhoons. We cannot now determine if there is a very big typhoon that's going to come or today will be sunny or tomorrow will be rainy because we don't know or we can't predict it because the weather right now they don't have a pattern. They constantly changing. Now, let us move to the conflicts. How, you may be wondering, how does climate change cause conflicts like terrorism? Well, here's the answer. Conflicts. Climate change can decrease the production of crops. Decreasing production of crops can cause poverty in the low-lying areas in the world.
Let us welcome our third affirmative speaker, Gianni Simasio, for her speech.
So, as we all know, our society is experiencing such calamity, many calamities. So, because of those calamities, we established to do solidarity. We established to do cooperation. That if there are no calamities, how can we help another country? For example, is Yolanda. If there is no calamity, the other country will help us. They would even help us because we haven't any problem. And poverty is really a shallow problem, so that they will help us. So the calamity is the greatest opportunity so that everyone in the society can help each other.
So, if you talk about solidarity being advantage of climate change, well, if you really talk about that, solidarity always just happens or mostly happens in the high level countries. For example, experiencing in Africa or Bangladesh, they are low-lying areas. So even if you say that the pros of climate change is solidarity, it will only happen in high-level countries, such as like United States or sometimes even helping the Philippines. And if you say that solidarity will be a advantage of climate change, that will be really a horrifying reason for the other countries to help us because of calamity.
Not only solidarity is the pros of climate change. According to our research of Boston University, according to Dr. Mayneni, because of climate change, the global vegetative of the whole society is increasing 31% because of climate change. The vegetation increase its growth rates, and because of climate change, the growth yields of some plants increase.
If you are now saying about agriculture being a advantage by climate change, what can you justify the low crop production when droughts come? Droughts are another effect of climate change. How can you justify the 30% decrease of gross domestic product in the Philippines after the 2016 El Nino if you say that agriculture that climate change, the effect can have an advantage on agriculture?
So 30% literally is greater than 31% growth rate.
Okay, so let us just move away a little bit of agriculture. Agriculture, 31%. Does that always happen? Here, calamities. Calamities always happen in the Philippines. Let us first talk about Yolanda. Yolanda got $604 billion in our money just to help the people devastated by Yolanda. In Hurricane Harvey, we had $180 billion eaten up by that effect of climate change. And then we also have the 2015 US drought that got $2.7 billion in the US money.
There isn't no...
So now again, let's call upon the third speaker to deliver her main speech.
So climate climate change has its positive and negative effects. But according to our research, there are more positive effects of climate change. It can also prevent ice age, which is very harmful for us. Because of that melting of ice age, because of global warming, we can also have a area for ship to go. And because of climate change, we also establish solidarity, as I said earlier. And because of the climate change, some people lose their lives. And if there are no climate change, there will no people who will die. And that is overpopulation. And overpopulation is a great problem for the society, including the politics.
So now let's call the third affirmative speaker for our rebuttal speech.
So again, I remember the fact that you said that climate change will prevent ice age, but too much heat can also cause droughts, and droughts can also cause bad effects, just like how ice age can cause bad effects in humans. Ice age, okay, I'm gonna say the bomb cyclone in Florida. So bomb cyclone in Florida was really cold, and then other people started to have frostbites and everything. But if you say that climate change can prevent that, then what about the droughts? The climate change can increase, the carbon dioxide levels can increase the global temperature in our world, causing droughts. So if you say that climate change can benefit us with no ice age, then do you want ice age or do you want droughts? If you have droughts, low production level, too much heat, everybody can experience heat strokes. So it's a double effect. We have low production crops, diseases caused by heat strokes, and of course conflicts. I didn't have the chance to say earlier, but the conflicts. So if climate change can produce crop production, then crop production can lead to poverty. Then poverty in the low-lying areas, they will be forced to do terrorism to provide their needs for their lives. So if you climate change also has an effect on the peace and order in our world.
So, you let me choose drought or ice age. So, the legend of all blood deaths is not heat, but cold. The cold is the main cause of death, not heat.
Okay, but in our society today, the research says that most of the deaths are caused by higher temperature, just like higher temperature, like heat strokes. Heat strokes lead to all other diseases like strokes, high blood pressure, and then it leads to other deaths.
So as I said earlier, cold is the main cause. Is the main cause of death, not the heat. So how can we say that heat is the main cause of the death if I had a research and that cold is the main cause?
So that ends our third speaker.
I call any of the representative both sides, one representative, to defend or summarize their sides.
question, is climate change normal? For our stand, we take as climate change is not normal. As a repetition, climate change happens every 10,000 years. Well, as of now, it is exceeded for the 10,000 years. But up till now, climate change is still happening. Why? Most people says that the Earth can have the ability to absorb carbon dioxide from the emissions of fossil fuels. But as of now, people are continuing to deforest our forests and cutting down trees. That is the reason why climate change is happening at a much higher rate, because there are no more trees or plants that can absorb the excess greenhouse gases in our atmosphere. For the second question, is climate change unstoppable? And our stand is climate change is not unstoppable. Why? Climate change is not unstoppable because there is a research that says the United States of America is very much guilty to leave the earth in this situation. It's almost, we have no trees, rising sea levels for 4 generations. Imagine the generations that your children will be living in, because have been researched that for 4 generations, climate change will continue to erratically change our world and cause much more destruction. That is why we take as a stand that climate change is not unstoppable. And for the last question, what are the effects of climate change? Preferably, the disadvantages of climate change. As I mentioned earlier, disadvantages included rising of sea levels, droughts, erratic weather changes, and conflicts. These events are not just from my mind or from my research, but believe it or not, we are all experiencing this. We are all experiencing this. That is why it is true that climate change has much more disadvantages than its advantages. Convinced or not, we are taking as our stand that climate change is not normal. Climate change is not unstoppable, and climate change has a much more heavier weight of its disadvantages compared to its advantages.
We had heard already both sides. We had listened to their views about questions regarding climate change.
So, you must remember that climate change is real. Just depends on you if you believe that climate change is normal or not normal, climate change is unstoppable or unstoppable, or climate change is bad effects or positive effects. So now, let's call our judges if they have any comments. Okay, good afternoon students. Congratulations. I have witnessed what is this? I cannot exactly describe your performance this afternoon, students, because you are at the maximum level of developing this 21st century. Thank you. Okay, so I would like to congratulate also your teacher in this particular subject for developing this 21st century skills in facilitating the learnings, your learning styles actually. Now, with regards to the exchanging of ideas of the pros and the cons, when I salute to you for your research, you have very good research. But then, I would just like to focus on inciting or incitation of authors. You should specify the authors, the name of the authors of the work, and the year. Because you are dealing in factual concept. Okay, so some of you forgot to cite the authors. And then, I would like to congratulate also the skills and the delivery of most of you. But then, let us remember that in a debate, you will not run around. You will just stay in your place, face your because you are delivering to convince your counterpart. Okay, so you are not to impress the audience actually. You are to convince if your idea is understood and would by the other side. Okay? So, but anyway, siguro another is technical problems. But, okay na siya. Congratulations for coming up to this particular activity in the classroom. You know what we are discussing at the back? That how we wish that all students in our classroom in City High would be like you. So let me listen to the teacher. Okay? Congratulations and keep up your good work.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, good afternoon everyone. Anyway, first of all, I would like to congratulate the facilitator, the two principal people there in front. You deliver a very good job. And of course, the students, the pros and the cons, no? In a debate, there is always
yung pag-usapan ng isang issue na bahagi ng ating kontemporaryong issue. Congrats din sa inyong guro kasi minsan din ako ay naging bahagi ng Guro 21 and then isa itong hamon and then isa itong tagumpay para sa kanyang adhikain na makamtan talaga yung learning niya sa Guro 21. Unang-una gusto kong bigyan din ng pagkilala itong facilitators natin dahil napagtagumpayan nilang i-facilitate ang mga debating na debaters. Alam nyo, habang pinapanood ko kayo, naaalala ko yung isang paborito kong pelikula ni Denzel Washington, The Great Debaters. Ipinapakita doon kung paano yung mga debaters ay napagtagumpayan lang issue tungkol sa pagiging racist ng iba. Ngayon, ito ay bahagi talaga dahil pinag-uusapan ang climate change. Isa lang ang punto na, isa sa mga punto na natatandaan ko talaga, or lahat naman ng punto na ipinahayag nyo ay maganda. Pero nakakatawa, nakakainggan yung pakinggan na napag-uusapan ng Ice Age, napag-uusapan din ang tungkol sa droughts. Kasi itong mga bagay na ito minsan, alin ang pipiliin mo? Saan ka lulugar sa mga puntong ito? Dahil ang Ice Age class, nakaka-Galileo class na panoorin sa pelikula, pero alam natin din ang hindi magandang senaryo sa Ice Age. Alin sa drugs, yung pagtaas ng temperatura ay nakakaganda pala kasi doon umusbong yung buhay, pero pag nasubrahan naman ay hindi naman maganda. So isang napakagandang opportunity na naipalabas ninyo ang inyong opinion. Siguro ang may sasuggest ko lang, sa debating ito minsan kailangan yung paghandaan, imaging kasi ito. Kailangan, pahuraba kumbaga, yung opponents niyo kailangan makita nila kung gaano ka-confident, kung gaano yung conviction na yung pagsasalita kasi kukunin mo yung kanila, kumbaga maingganyo sila sa inyong mga opinion, sa inyong idea kasi hindi pwede ditong para kang weaker sa kanilang pananaw kasi tatapakan ka talaga. Okay? Congrats, great team Galileo, and it's an honor to be part of this meeting.